Hey guys, it's Doc here. I just wanted to talk to you today about the new Scott Snyder and Jock video that came out from DSTLRY this week. It's called You Won't Feel a Thing, and it's a murder mystery with an older grizzled detective, and he's trying to get his way out of a halfway house. Well, not really a halfway house, but more of an assisted living community, because he has gotten older and he's just not able to take care of himself. Sometimes he'll forget where he's at, he'll forget what he's doing. And so his son has put him in a place called Harmless House because the name of the town is Harmless. And he missed out on one serial killer in all of his years as a detective, as a rising detective, and all the way through the force up to the national level. And that killer was the Chatterman. And the reason that they called him the Chatterman was because he would take a tooth from each victim. And as he took those teeth, he would sew them together and make a mask, and so you would hear him coming because of the chattering of teeth. There's a reason why this is an extremely personal thing for the detective. He killed somebody very close to him when he was a young man. And he sees that the Chatterman could be the killer in up to 40 deaths over the years. But he's got a tumor on his brain, and he doesn't think so well anymore. And he doesn't remember always what he's doing, where he's at, or anything like that. So this is an interesting story because there's a ticking time bomb. How long is the detective going to be able to remember who he is, what he's doing, and remember anything about the killer? Is he going to be able to remember the Chatterman long enough to try to catch him? Well, towards the end of the book, you get to see that the director of Harmless House has now become a new victim. And the method of murder was EO, excessive overkill. So it's not that a person gets strangled or gets hit or gets run over by a car. It's that they are beaten and stabbed multiple times, and it's just a very, very violent way to go. Just a very violent, bloody way to go. So this detective, even though his faculties are not everything that they used to be, he feels a necessity. This guy got somebody very close to me many years ago, and I got to put this guy away before I'm gone, because once I'm gone, nobody understands him the way that I do. Nobody has studied him for as long as I have. And the whole book is not explicit in its artwork, but that's one reason why I haven't really shown you any of the artwork, is because there are certain pages that are pretty dark. And if you know Jock, you know what kind of artwork to expect anyway. Jock has already started out DSTLRY as a publisher by writing and being the artist on his own story called Gone, which was a sci-fi thriller. So this seems really, really interesting because you've got, like I said, it's a situation where if this guy forgets where he's at or who he is or about the Chatterman completely, then who's going to catch him? Who's going to solve not only this murder of the director of Harmless House, but who's going to solve the murder of the person that was close to him? So it's really, really great book. It's a really great book. And I like DSTLRY. I wanted to talk about that for a minute too. I've mentioned it before, but I really like DSTLRY because of their oversized books. You get to see more of the artwork. It's almost like a HD versus 480p situation for back in the day, for those of us old enough to remember where we went from 480p, which was standard definition TV, all the way up to 720p, which was basic HD. you get to see so many more details in the artwork because it's closer to the original size of the artwork. Now, it's not 11 by 7, but it's right out there at magazine size, maybe just a little bit longer than a magazine. So I think DSTLRY, even though they've swung and missed once or twice, I didn't much care for Blasphemous. It was okay, but it wasn't the greatest title. But they've also got stuff like Blood Brother's Mother, which is a Western tale written by Brian Azzarello with art by Eduardo Risso that is absolutely top notch. Gone by Jock was excellent. You've also got, what else? What else did they do? Shoot, I can't remember off the top of my head, but their books are more quarterly than they are monthly. So it gives you a little bit of time because each of these books is around $9. So that's why they're not doing them monthly. They do have so many books going currently now that you almost have one book a month from them, but it's never the same book. You're not going to get another issue of You Won't Feel a Thing until probably late spring of this year, I would say around April, which is a good thing and a bad thing because as many books as I read and review and talk about on this channel, both new and old, it's hard to remember how the story was in the previous issue when you're 4 months away from finding out what's going to happen next. So it's a double-edged sword. It's good because you're not spending $10 a week on like 4 books, but at the same time, you're also taking almost a year or sometimes longer to complete a story. Now, these are 48 pages and they are cardstock and they're perfect bound. So they're much more like a book than they are a comic book. But like I said, I'll show you. Let me see if I can find one page. So you just get to soak in all of the details. Of the artwork that you may not get to see if it was a smaller book. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that for a little bit, and if you haven't had the opportunity to check out any of the DSTLRY books, I think that you should. I really think that they're absolutely great, and the production value on them is like I said, A+ and top notch. So, thanks for joining me, folks, and we will catch you in the next video. Until then, take care.